Hey guys, ever wonder what a professional and personal development retreat is like? Well, not all experiences are the same, but in this episode, I share my point of view from the 2.5 day retreat with the Fit and Faith press team and mentorship of Tamra Andress, and some key and unexpected lessons learned along the way. It wasn't until literally just 2 years ago that I started to really invest into myself with coaches and like personal development conferences. And I've talked about this before in similar reflection episodes that the game of life just absolutely changes the second. I mean, like the nanosecond that you decide that you are worthy enough to invest in yourself and your personal growth. I had been in corporate careers where conferences and networking events, like they were the norm. And while I loved them, and sometimes I did leave feeling inspired, nothing has moved and propelled my life the way that investments in programs like Tony Robbins or Powerhouse Women or Fit and Faith Press, or even just heck, self-help books like from Brene Brown or Jocko Wilson, or even too is since launching this podcast now, I still poke around with some podcasts, and it's folks like James Wedmore. I'm really loving some of his stuff right now, or Gabby Bernstein. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on about the impact that folks in this self-help and personal development space, just what kind of an imprint that they can have and that they have had in transforming my own life. I also, because I want to just throw this caveat out here, I have also experienced that not everyone should be a personal development coach or a mentor or have a platform. I absolutely have the same horror stories that many folks do when they invest in a coach and they have nothing to show for it. So I've also, I've had my fair share of that too, and I've learned some things along the way. So just keep an eye out for a future episode. I think that especially this could be really relevant right now with some of the decisions that our country has. So I won't touch politics with a 10-foot pole, but I could at least, I'll do an episode on how I choose my mentors and coaches, and perhaps even just offer up some guidance as you continue to explore what a coach or personal development type of coach could do for you. But for day, just like today, anyway, because I know just went on a tangent there. I want to take and I want to give space for reflection on the days spent in Virginia Beach, focused on aligning business and biblical principles and dialing in exactly how to write a keynote, deliver it like a boss, and how to collaborate to support others, events, and communities in this capacity and in this world of impact speaking. So I'm so excited about it. I will also just like put the disclaimer out here that I'm very aware, like this is not a masterclass, and this is not like a review of the curriculum. So specifics about the content and some of the exercises are they're intentionally being withheld. But if you'll stay with me, I hope that these reflections, that it will just create a curiosity for you to explore and to maybe even finally say yes to that coaching or that retreat or that conference, like that personal growth development thing that maybe has been calling to you too. So, okay, 3 takeaways from my time. Well, I guess I could just kind of overview of where I did, how I got connected. So this is one of my business mentors, Tamra Andress, and she was hosting an impact speakers retreat. So she brought, I think there was about 7 of us that came together, and we all met in Virginia Beach at this beautiful home that was literally a block off of the beach. So that was just, even being in a place like that was just absolutely incredible. And we spent 2.5 days dialing into all things of what it means to be and how to show up as an impact speaker. So these are my takeaways. The first one is that the message, the story, the testimony, it is already in you. Um, Tamra Andress, like I said, as mentioned, she in all of her brilliance, she led this event and she prompted such thoughtful discussions. She asked questions like ones that I had never been asked before, and some that were even bringing folks to tears. So whether it was reflection in silence, or moving our bodies or partnering up. There were different and unique ways just to relish in the messages and the callings that are already placed on our hearts. And that was so beautiful. So I'm so grateful for those moments and just the way that it helped me really walk away from the retreat feeling a sense of greater trust for myself, a more grounded confidence, and a deep knowing about the messages meant to be amplified from the stage so that so many others can be moved and impacted too. Second takeaway: when you are intimately in a room with other individuals who have taken action to claim the desire placed on their hearts, whew, if you were not inspired before, like it's impossible to walk away like not just feeling so jazzed up and fueled, because everybody's to some extent is kind of walking the same walk. Perfect example. One of my new friends who sat next to me, Miss Stacy, it was such a beautiful gift to literally watch this already radiating woman walk in the room for first introductions. And by the time that we departed just 2 days later, she had gifted me a front row seat into some of the biggest transformations of her heart. And the people who you're just willing to sit at the table with, if you'll let them, they'll leave such imprints on your heart and hold space for your big transformations too. So I just feel so lucky to know and have walked this path with each of the wonderful human beings that were called to the retreat this past week. Um, like I said, something different just happens when you get in a room like that. And so if you haven't tried it before, I hope this is your sign. And there's plenty out there. So whether the big, like, 1,000-person conference is your jam or whether getting really intimate is your jam, like there's so many different options to just get in the room with people who are passionately pursuing more alongside you. Takeaway number three, and this one is personal. Like this is deeply personal for me, but I just want to share again for the person who maybe is listening and experiencing this crazy shift of their life or this crazy act of surrender. One of my breakthrough moments, it happened when I found myself literally knees and forehead in the sand, arms stretched up in a plead for strength. When you walk in obedient surrender, at least in my case, it wildly exposes the piece of you that needs your maker the most. I realized just how weak and vulnerable I've been feeling in my surrender in stepping into the season of yes, and how hard that can be to keep showing up in a capacity that almost feels so foreign to worldly programming. Of course, it takes an immense amount of strength to take the chances and to make the moves that I have made over the last year. Of course, it takes courage and some real, let's just say it, balls, if I'm being really honest. But even in the apparent strength, even in the faithful walk, even in the outward confidence, all of it is rooted in a deep surrender. And here was the takeaway: there are times where our surrender will require that we kneel forehead in the sand. And then there will also be times where our surrender asks us to stand. I have an idea about what comes next for me, and I am here for all of it and just so blessed and feeling divinely held. We all are. We all are. So, biggest reflections from the retreat, just to wrap it up, it's a short one today. Number one, the message, the story, the testimony, it is already in you. Number two, if you want to not just be inspired, but if you want to be moved like by people in your life, then you've got to get around the right tables with the right people. And number three, my deeply personal one is that sometimes our surrender will require we kneel, and other times our surrender will require that we stand. As always, I appreciate you being here and listening along. And if this message sparks something for you, please reach out to me. I would love to know that you're walking in this journey with me too. Brittany at BrittanySalenci.com or on socials. I'll make sure that I put those links in the show notes. I am hungry to lock arms with you if you are ready to expand your life and your purpose. Like, I want to get to know you. So whether it's in the coaching programs that are open or and those coaching programs, they are accepting enrollments for the 12-week. That's a one-on-one and a community coaching. Or, and this is really exciting too, or if you join us for the Joy Challenge. So this is a free 3-day challenge that we're going to kick off at the end of October. Check the socials, check the website. I think it's October 23rd. Oh goodness, I should not have said that date because I'm not quite sure. I don't have the calendar in front of me. But anyway, it's at the end of October. And really the whole purpose of the Joy Challenge is just to make sure that we are getting our brains, our minds, our souls right before we head into this crazy holiday season where I know all of us, holidays are supposed to be joyful. So it starts with making sure that we're actually prepared for that. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, come play with us in the Joyful Challenge. All right. Until next time, may you continue to invest in the person who you want to become. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to today's episode. It means a world to me that you're here to ride in the struggle bus with me and that you're willing to consider different perspectives, tools, and techniques that just might provide a little bit of relief and get you one step closer to the abundance that is available and waiting for us all. I hope you take a moment to grant yourself some grace where you've been denying it, some love where you didn't realize maybe it was right in front of you, and some faith where you thought all was lost. If this episode had an impact on you, would you please share a comment with a review? I'd love to hear what landed for you, and it helps us get the word out to our fellow struggle bus riders. So please review what was impactful for you. Just know these episodes are a pure labor of love in a space where I'm growing alongside you. I'm evolving every day, and I look forward to all the ways and the things and the perspectives and opinions and choices that will change over the course of time in my own life, day to day. Until next time, just know that you are loved, you are divinely cared for, and in the struggle, the journey of this life really is beautiful. I'm glad that we're in it together. Cheers.